Alrighty. We are live. Hope you guys can hear me. Alrighty. Okay. Joined. Okay. Go live with. Come on. There we go. Oh, technology. Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, you broke up for a second. What'd you say?
I said, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
How are you today?
I'm good. This weather. It's like raining
Yes.
out of
So
nowhere.
gloomy. Yes.
I just want to have a cup of coffee and just watch a movie.
Yes. Definitely nap season.
Oh, yes, for sure. We're just gonna wait a couple more minutes and then just see who joins us this evening. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. How's school going? It's almost
It's
over.
going. No, it's not almost over. I think the first the first quarter is over the end of this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, so teachers are really pushing to get those grades in and giving a lot
Yeah.
more.
So exciting. Yeah. Oh, technology. I always want to make sure it looks good. There we go. I mean, honestly, they could watch the recording too, so we can get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Kiana. I am one of the health promotion specialists with TSU SHAPE Initiative. TSU SHAPE Initiative is a program at TSU campus as well as the 5th and 3rd Ward community. We offer and provide free STI services. So we do free HIV and STIs testing, health education, um, community referrals, things of that sort. And we are here with Miss Saniya Symone, the host of Teen Nation Talk Show. If you want to just introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Symone. I'm 14 years old. I'm an actress, model, entrepreneur. I'm also the host of the Teen Nation Talk Show, and I'm a pageant queen.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about the Teen Nation Talk Show host. Talk show, I'm
Yes. So,
sorry.
yes, the Teen Nation Talk Show, we're just going to be discussing everything teens, bringing awareness, discussing hot topics, anything that teens would find important.
Mhm. So this is series number 2. Yay. The
Yeah.
first series, we talked about COVID, coping with that as a teenager and virtual school, which is not fun. I'm a student in the virtual school life too. It's very interesting. So I can only imagine how it is in high school. Like, it's crazy. So today we're gonna talk about relationships and communication as well as social media. So here we are, Instagram, yes. Um, so if you guys have any questions throughout the live, like go ahead and add them in the comment section. Um, and then we'll just talk about some things that are going to be up and coming later on at the end of the series. Alrighty, so let's get started. So what types of relationships do you have? And don't have to be like a boyfriend, like family, friends, like business partners. Tell me about your
Yes.
relationships.
Yes, I have family, friends, best friends. My favorite part of my family to hang out with is, of course, my siblings and cousins.
Hmm.
I have business partners, business associates through networking and all of that.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So how many siblings do you have?
That's a complicated answer. The
Girl,
short answer can be three.
same actually, same. So how do you best communicate with your family and your friends and like your business partners, and your colleagues?
Definitely my phone. I think
Hmm.
it's the easiest way to contact anyone. I don't have to break out a computer to email.
Hmm.
I can text, I can FaceTime, I can call, I can FaceTime audio, I can house party, I can Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. So
Teach me.
I think
Yes,
my
wow.
phone has played a huge part in communicating with the people I love.
Hmm. If you didn't have your phone, how would you think you would communicate?
I definitely wouldn't have as many friends. I don't know. I don't know life without a phone.
Hmm.
Um, I probably spend more weekends at home and I don't know, walk around the neighborhood and talk to people.
Knock on their doors, old school.
Yeah.
Snail mail. Um, so who taught you really how to like effectively communicate within your relationships that you have?
Definitely my mom. She taught me how to grow and keep relationships and not let them, I guess, get dull and let people lose interest in working with you, but also lose interest in being your friend.
Right, right, right. And what do you think effective communication is to you?
Honestly, I think it's very, very important. Not only would you learn how to receive relationships, but you know how to deal with each relationship differently, along with
Hmm.
yourself. I think a lot of relationships teach you more about yourself than you learn about the other person.
Wow, that's so real. So real. What do you think that you have learned about yourself and your relationships, especially during this time? I mean, I feel like we communicate more since we have so much more time with ourselves because of COVID, like during that period between like March and what July maybe before everything started opening up, like did you talk to your friends or family more because you had that time, or what do you think?
I would think I think I had a little bit more time to call people, because that's not something that I enjoy doing. I like to call, check on people, and then continue about my day. So I think I've had way more time to sit
Hmm.
up on the phone and listen to people. Definitely more time to be on social media and learn about different personalities with
Hmm.
technology.
Yeah, I am the same way. Like, you're doing great. Thanks. That's awesome. Talk to you
Yeah,
next
not in a
week.
rude way though.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so your mom really helped you learn how to like effectively communicate and be an active listener too. I feel like that's such a big aspect of communication. So how do you feel you maintain communication and build these relationships with effective communication?
I definitely think checking up with people, following up on topics, even if it's just your friend telling you about their problems, like
Hmm.
follow up. Did you take care of this? Are you handling your business well? Again, definitely knowing how to deal with everyone differently so that you can know what things to say to that other person when
Hmm.
you need to follow up or check on them.
Hmm. So, as you mentioned, you are very young and you're an entrepreneur, you're a model, you're an actor, so how is it when you're communicating with like older individuals who, you have to show them respect, but you also want to like put your foot down and show them that you're serious in everything you do?
It definitely depends. I've talked to a lot of adults and they haven't necessarily taken me or my business seriously. More of like questioning me at events about my prices or is this something that I'm forced to do, things like that. And of course, I have to be respectful because that's the thing. Okay, this could be my mom asking someone this. I don't think my mom would be as ignorant, but it could
Hmm.
be. It could be my grandmother. It could be my uncle. So I try to put everything in the most simple and nice tone.
Hmm.
But sometimes I do have to speak up and let everyone know, like, this is not just a hobby. It's something that I enjoy doing, but it's not just a hobby. This is something that I actually make money off of, and this is my career path.
Right. And you'd be like, it's contributing to my future. Aren't you happy that I'm young?
Yes, I always say, well, if you support me, you're contributing to my future endeavors.
Exactly. And that's the way to do it. I mean, it's kind of hard, being a young black female and you're definitely trying to get the sales and promote yourself, promote your business. Like you are a
Mhm.
business, you are a walking business. So it's interesting to see if people like will take you seriously. Do you mind sharing a story, like if an incident that, there was some wacky communication between you and somebody else?
Yes, well, at a conference once before, there was an older woman, and she came up to me and like I gave her the whole spiel because usually when I have vendor booths, that's what I do. So then she questioned me. She said, "Well, who is the adult here?" I said, "Well, I'm here. This is my business." And then she definitely questioned my prices and asked if this was worth it and is this a project I do after school? And I was like, "Whoa!" I was very
What?
shocked. I was very brave.
Hmm.
Of course, I didn't say anything outrageous to her. I just told her, well, this is what I do. You can take my business card if you're not interested. Because that's still, however I act, that still reflects my business.
Right, you're networking right there. Wow. Is it a school project? That's very interesting. So how do you approach somebody? Like let's say like you want to communicate, build a relationship with another community partner or what is your best way of like going about that situation, would you say?
I would say maybe like fellow entrepreneurs, like kidpreneurs, teen entrepreneurs, I think now youth entrepreneurs is the whole title of all of that. One, I'd go up and be interested in their products. Of course, every time I go to an event, I make sure that I support all of the youth entrepreneurs that are there as well, because I know sometimes it can be hard, and in certain, I guess you could say, certain events, certain settings,
Hmm.
not all of the businesses get bought from, and not everyone is willing to stop and check it out. And
Right.
some people are often rude about that. So I'm always like, well, could you tell me like what you do? Like just like a regular customer, and I tell them, direct them to where I'm at or direct them to my social media as well.
Awesome. That's so cool. Networking is literally key of everything, business,
Yeah.
daily life.
And I find it so much easier to talk to people my age.
Hmm. Have you ever
Because
connected with somebody?
oftentimes,
Oh, sorry, continue.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you find it easier or harder to like connect or network with like older individuals who have a business or harder?
It really does depend on the environment. Some
Hmm.
adults, they're like, oh, this is so cute. Of course, I'll come buy from your business. But some of them don't necessarily take it seriously, like I was saying. But I know for all of the teens that I usually see, they're pretty serious because, I
Hmm.
mean, they're entrepreneurs as well. So let's not take it.
Right, exactly. It's like, we're building a brand, we want to promote ourselves, grow. And it's like, I would think that even like with an adult, they would see that yourself as, a role model.
Right.
Hmm. Awesome. So let's move to social media. Social media. How do you use what social media platforms do you use? Let me ask that first.
I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, I have TikTok, I have a Facebook page which rarely gets posted on. I may click share to Facebook as well on Instagram, but I rarely log into that. I don't know how to work Facebook, but Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. I have a Twitter account, but I have never used it.
Okay,
So
so
I
I felt
guess
like,
I have
yeah, the
everything.
basics. There's so many different apps out there, like the basics, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I guess TikTok is now within that realm. Do you ever use TikTok to like network or do you use it more as like a personal?
No, I don't use this network at all. Actually, my page is private.
Hmm.
Um, Not specifically for any reason. My mom tells me I should always unprivate my pages, but I feel like it's just me. Like it's me being me. If you want to
Right.
follow, like you got to request, all that stuff. But I usually use it just for fun, and normally I don't post them. They just stay in my privates.
I never even tried the TikTok thing during COVID. It was too much. I can't dance
Yeah.
like that either. So,
I can't either, but watching them is so
um, so how does social media play a role in your relationships? I know you said you talk to people through social media. How else do you use social media to maintain your relationships?
I think social media is a great way to keep up with people. If you don't want to text or call someone, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but you know if they're okay, you know if they're alive, especially reflecting on their posts. I like to say that social media is everything you want people to see, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
some certain people want people to see the negative parts of their life. So I think that's kind of a way, like not calling but knowing you're good, like sliding up with a reaction. Like we don't have
Mm-hmm.
to have a full conversation, but you know, it's cool.
Right. I'm acknowledging you in some kind of way. So, I know you don't use Facebook, but like, a lot of older people generation use
Yeah.
Facebook to like communicate. Like, my dad sometimes calls me through Facebook. I'm like, Dad, you have my phone number. Why don't you just call me? So weird. So, do you ever use Facebook to like communicate with like family that's not close to you?
Not at all. I probably got into the page. It's logged in on my phone, but I can't even remember the last time that I got on it.
Hmm.
Maybe I've liked someone's post. Maybe I've been bored at like 2 a.m. and done it, but I honestly do not use the app at all.
Wow. Okay. A
It
lot of
seems
people.
very complex. And a lot of older people, like my grandma, is on Facebook. Like, I don't know, that's something weird to wrap around my
Really? Your grandma?
head.
That's But have you ever thought about using Facebook, like even like, Facebook Marketplace, like to network during that for your
Mhm.
business and stuff? Have you ever thought about doing it that way?
I'm in a lot of like business owner group chats on there. Do I
Hmm.
reply? Do I post in them? No, not really. But if I was active, I think I would. It's just something hard to keep up. And once I start replying, then I have to keep replying,
Replying.
and that's a lot. I
That's a
think a lot
lot.
of my targeted people
Hmm.
usually have it, but it's a lot easier to see my product and direct straight to my websites.
Right, 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 right. Um, so in what ways do you use social media to like improve your relationships or communication?
I don't really know. I think I have a lot of social media friends, and it's
Hmm.
a definitely a great way to network, not only for businesses and the T Nation Talk Show, but also just people from school. And of course, COVID, you can't really make new friends and talk. So I think social media has been that outlet for everyone.
Right. Hang out on social media. Just go live with them
Yeah,
and just chat, hang out.
yeah.
Um, So I know we talked about, you use Instagram. So I feel like social media can also be like your website and stuff like that. It's a brand. Like how did you come up with like doing all of that, like creating your website and basically like tailoring it to the youth? How did you come up with that? Hmm.
Well, honestly, I think that my mom is really, really good at that part. My mom actually helped make my website for me. Of course, I told her like what I want on it, the colors and stuff that I think is eye-catching for me and my theme.
Hmm.
I have two businesses, so they're very, very different, like formats of each website. I guess like the colors and all of that. So I think that's played a huge part. I definitely think that that's counted as what social media.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And tell us about your two businesses that you have.
Okay, so I'm the CEO of Symone Stone's online boutique, which specializes in hand beaded bracelets, specifically jewelry. And I'm also the CEO of Iconic Legends Apparel, which is more trendy, gender neutral wear from hoodies to joggers, all of that. And Symone Stone's is a little bit more girl.
Awesome. That's so cool. I mean, I was 13 doing something like that. I was just in school and at cheerleading practice. That was it. Um, so as a young entrepreneur, how do you develop more relationships? Would you say like your mom helps you out, or do you just like start conversations with like people who are have similar likes?
For me, I find it a little bit harder to find people I want to follow unless they're being tagged. Like I don't just go through and follow people. I don't know,
Hmm.
to me that's a bit weird. But when people follow me or when I feel it, like they're tagging someone that I know, like let's say an entrepreneur friend tags someone who also has a business, then I would follow them and check out their business and all of that.
Hmm.
So I don't think that I'm the outgoing one to start like the chain of following people, but I definitely do follow people back, and I'm very, very good at commenting on people's posts.
Hmm.
I think
And like,
that's one of my strengths on Instagram.
right. And there's like an algorithm, like, you comment, you post or something like
Yes.
that. I know nothing about
So
that. Tell me, because I know you
supposedly,
know.
if you post, gosh, I have it on my phone. But supposedly, if you post like 3 p.m., like any day at 3 p.m. is good. Like it's good for you as long as
Okay.
you have like a phone.
Let me take some
After
notes.
6,
3 p.m.
after 6, unless you're like Beyonce or Lori Harvey, you're not gonna get followers. And my thing is, you have to post when it's light outside because if it's not light outside, then people are going to sleep. And if people are going to sleep when you wake up in the morning, it's gonna be like you posted 14 hours ago and you have 100 likes, and like that doesn't add up. Like you know, do you
Uh-huh.
know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Okay, so 3 p.m. like for me, that's the time that I target to post 3
Okay.
to 4 p.m.
Uh-huh.
Some days it doesn't happen like that, but I think from anywhere noon to 4 is good. If you post before that, people are brushing their teeth, they're doing what they're supposed to do, working, all of that. But think about the times you're mostly on your phone. When I first wake up, I'm on my phone, but I'm not like scrolling for stuff to like. I don't even think to like things at early in the morning.
Right.
So I think lunchtime is around 12. People are on their phone while they're eating. 4
True.
is more you're getting out of school, eating dinner, chilling, watching TV. So I think that's the best times.
Awesome.
And it's
Uh-huh.
actually been proven on a lot of posts.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Because I know that I've heard of the algorithm. Like you're supposed to post at this time and like this many pages to do something at
Now, all of
somewhere.
that extra, the comments and the likes, I don't know anything about that. I only know like when you post. But when you comment on other people's stuff, supposedly that's how you get more followers. But
Hmm. So how did you
like
really
more.
learn social media? Did you do like YouTube it or you just like went through and just
Um, I don't think that's something that I've ever tried to. I mean, like when I need to change something about my account, like how to post an Insta story, that I most definitely YouTube it. But
Mhm.
more of what times to post, I think it's something that I've noticed. And I also was scrolling my Explore page one day, and someone confirmed my theory.
I think there's like an app that you can use to like find like the data within Instagram or something
Mhm.
like that.
And to track the targeted audience who follows you.
Uh-huh.
So it really depends on if they're up
Wow.
or not.
I'm learning so much. I'm being for real because I'm gonna post to my story right here when I feel like it.
Now, stories are way different because stories, everyone sees those because you can just slide and slide and slide, and that's what I get the most views on.
Hmm.
Your posts, especially when your friends repost your pictures, that's how I get a lot of my likes. But they don't follow, so that's the weird thing. Like, they give likes, but they don't follow. And your followers and likes do not add up at all. Like, they will just never, unless you're Beyonce, they won't.
Girl, you could be the child Beyonce.
Yes.
You're in Houston, so hey. Um, how about like when people like your stuff, do you go out and follow them and like network and like communicate with them, or is that not something that you do?
That's not something that I do on my business pages, yes, but on my page, I don't. Like
Mm-hmm.
if people comment and stuff, like a comment is things that I know notice.
Mm-hmm.
Likes, if as soon as I post and you're liking a whole bunch, like a lot of people are liking my pictures, so I don't have time to go and press everybody. But let's say you like my picture like a week later, and you're liking that picture, I'm like, what the heck? So of course I have to go to your page. But if you're commenting, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
might follow.
Right. I mean, maybe the likes, that could you could gain some business that way too. I feel like that could be a good thing. Um, how do you feel like with social media? Like, have you ever experienced like bullying on social media or like heard of any stories like people being bullied on social media? I know like in this age range, like that you're in, like it's very, very common.
Yes. I've heard a lot of stories. Me personally, people say little things, but I don't really see that as bullying. Like people may DM certain stuff off of my story, and like I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily bullying.
Hmm.
They may say something mean. I don't get a lot of like hate comments and all of that. There was one time that someone made a page about me, and it wasn't. They didn't post anything bad. I just didn't know who it was, and yeah.
Wow.
But hey, what was the question? I got way off topic.
No, you were on topic. If you ever experienced bullying through social media, or you know somebody
Oh,
who experienced bullying through social media.
I've heard of stories. I don't think that's something that me and my friends really talk about.
Hmm.
More focused on positive things, but I've heard stories like on the Explore page, seeing people get paid for certain things, and definitely the shade room. Like those
Hmm.
are some big.
Very true, yeah. Because I since social media is so common now, like with the age
Yes,
range, and for at one point in time, I really thought there was like an age limit you had to be to get on
there
social
is.
media. Is it eight?
There is.
What is it? 12,
I don't
18?
know, but I know my TikTok account. I put the year that I was born, and they were like, "Oh, you can't." So I changed the year. Like it's so easy. And of
It's
course, it's not really the social media's
media.
job to protect you. It's more of
Hmm.
your parents' job. So if your parents aren't monitoring what you're doing, I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, I don't blame the kid for exploring or trying to be with the trends and stuff.
Right, right. So did your parents like start your social media when you were younger? Because like you were younger in like your
Um,
pageant days and like had the cookbook when you were very young and stuff like that as well. So did they start all of that for you?
Yes, so
Hmm.
they definitely did. I think that's how I don't relate to a lot of my friends' stories of sneaking social media or having to ask permission. Social media wasn't something that I really cared about at that age. My mom started for me. I don't know. I think I had left a sleepover, and then Instagram blew up, and she was like, "Okay, we're gonna get an Instagram page." And she wanted to ask all my family members to make sure like this is age appropriate because supposedly she thought it was a little fast at the age.
Hmm.
Anyway, now it's not like that. So she started my Instagram page. Snapchat, I had to ask her for. I
Hmm.
remember like the day I asked her. This is like 2016. And surprisingly, I know this is gonna sound really cliche, but I was in Paris and I asked my mom and I was like, Mom, like I really want to show my friends the Eiffel Tower. So can I please make a Snapchat page? And she said yes. Of course she monitored it on everything that I'm on, she's on as well.
Hmm.
But like TikTok and stuff, now that I'm older, that's not something I really asked her about. And she doesn't have a problem with it.
Hmm.
I don't think my mom is that type of person, just more of what you're posting and your
Right.
content, how you represent yourself well.
Hmm. That's so cool, like that you were able to like, talk with your mom and stuff like that, about social media because when I was growing up, I feel like I'm talking like I'm old. I'm only 24. But back in the day, MySpace was the thing. Like I don't even know if you've heard of.
Oh, my mom tells me about that all the time.
Yeah, so MySpace was the thing that you like used. It was like the Facebook. It was like right when Facebook was like coming out and stuff, like transitioning. And like even as like a young adult teen, like growing up, like I think I got one like in middle school or something like that, Um, had it, used it. Like we would, people would spend hours on a time like creating your pages and stuff. It was the thing. Yes, MySpace was the thing. You had like your top friends and like you could put music. And I'm just like, social media now has nothing on MySpace.
Can't relate. Can't relate.
Yeah, it was interesting time. Interesting time. Um, so how do you feel about like, parents or like some of your friends like not having social media right now? Do you think it's like okay, it's the norm, it's not the norm, or what?
Okay, well, I personally, at this age, I don't know anyone who does not have social media.
Hmm.
I know some people who may not be active on Snapchat as active as they are on Instagram, but
Hmm.
I don't know anyone who doesn't have social media. I know that when we were younger, a lot of my friends tried like to sneak social media, and then their parents found their pages, all of this stuff. And honestly, if you just talk to your kid and talk to your parent, it will all be okay. Like you can get an understanding of stuff. Because I think that's definitely what I did with my mom. Of course, she started my Instagram page, but it's still a topic that we had together.
Right. And it's about safety, you'd never people be acting as somebody else and like, oh, I'm 12 years
Yeah.
old and can be 50 trying to like talk to you or something. And
And I
people.
think if
Hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're
I
fine.
think that if you talk to your kids about it, because if, how do I put this? At my age, it is very easy to, with everything that's going on, it is very easy to make an Instagram page, to make a Snapchat page. If your parent is more stricter, is more telling you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, you're more eager to try or to do it.
Hmm.
And if you don't have those hard topics, your child will be, I guess, taken back once they do have social media. And then it's going to be like all of this chaos. So I feel like if you're just straightforward with your parents on what you want to do, and they may say no, just wait. Like, we have so much to look forward to as adults and teenagers.
Right. And it's like, the peer pressure too from like, especially when like, pre-COVID, like everybody, on social media and stuff, like how was it like regulating that like during school time? Like, I don't know if there's like policies against cell phones because, back in the day, here I am, back in the day, we didn't have smartphones. We had the flip razor phones or like, the slide up and stuff. We had to go onto the internet to get on social media. We didn't have the apps yet.
Yes. So, pre-COVID, I think in my middle school there was rules about phones only because the year before a lot of people were filming fights and all of this, taking pictures of people. So I think in middle school it was more of rules, but of course no one really enforced them. I think teachers were on their phone just as much as the students were on their phone.
Hmm.
Of course at lunch we could do all of that stuff, but in high school there's really no rules about phones. You can't get your phone taken up necessarily.
Hmm.
And of course, because of COVID, your teacher can't even touch your phone. That's like a violation at this point. Your teacher has to stay at their desk if you're
Hmm.
going to in person, and
Hmm.
they can't touch your stuff, obviously. So, either way, there's no really rules in my high school against it.
Hmm.
Just pay attention and get your work done, because if you don't get your work done, it's all gonna fall down on you. The teachers don't really care because, I mean, it's your grade.
Right, right. I mean, they care about your well-being, but they're
Well, yeah,
like, it's up to you to get the work done or not, kind of situation.
right.
So do you think if you didn't have social media, how would your life be without social media? Is my question to you.
I definitely wouldn't know as many people as I do. I wouldn't have as many relationships as I do with certain families,
Hmm.
certain family members, or friends at all. I probably wouldn't have a lot of friends. um,
No, you're so outgoing, you'll have friends.
oh. Without social media, I don't know. I think I'd be fine either way. We'd all be fine. Of course, we don't technically know life without phones, but in elementary school, all of us did not have phones. We did not have Instagram. We didn't have Snapchat, and everything was fine.
Right. Play outside and call it a day.
I definitely didn't play outside, but yes, call it a day.
You can play outside. So, what do you think at your age? People are giving their children's phones and tablets and stuff like super young, like 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Like, what do you think is like an appropriate age? Because when I was growing up, here I am talking about how old I am. Um, I didn't even get a phone until I was like a freshman in high school because my sister, we were in school, she had the phone and it was the prepaid cell phones. That was it. You get the minutes, and after like 7 or 8, you got the free minutes to talk to people. So, what
Okay.
age do you think?
So I know before elementary school, my mom gave me like this Leap pad, and that was the first thing I ever knew about a phone or an iPad. And of course, I was tempted to use it, but I think it definitely, of course, I don't remember everything from when I was a baby, but I think it definitely made me a little bit more intelligent, quick thinking, not only with technology, but
Hmm.
I think it just branched my brain in a different way. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of other people with like who started technology or started like learning websites or learning television, DVDs and stuff like that. Because actually, DVDs were a thing when I was a baby. So I know I'm so proud to say that because everyone always says we don't know the struggle. But anyway, I think it definitely branched my brain in a different way. Now,
Hmm.
I think for each kid, it is a little bit different. You know your kid best. If your kid isn't doing what they're supposed to do, I think you should give them a phone. and then take it as a punishment so they can know how good it feels to have technology. Ugh, not me giving
Privilege.
advice. But I don't know. I think it really does depend on your kid. Now, if your kid is in kindergarten, do I think they should have a phone? No. Now, some phone. It really just depends. I think if you're not with your family a lot, like family dynamic, I know that I got my first like real phone. I had an iPod in third grade, and I got my first real phone like the end of fourth grade, and it was like this Coral iPhone 4S4, correct? And I could not use it during school or anything. And I knew that if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, I would get my phone taken. So I think it was definitely more of a reward. And I think not only was I privileged to have that phone, but I think that my mom kind of knew what she was doing. Like, I could handle it, you know?
Right.
Some kids cannot. And after school, I needed to call my mom to get home anyway. So I think it kind of all worked out with, like, the family dynamic. Now, if you pick up your kid early and all of that, and they don't do what they're supposed to do, don't give them a phone. But just know that they're going to explore either way.
Right. And it's safety too. Like, people have the phones just if like they're safe, like, walking home by themselves or something like
Yes, and
that.
actually, speaking of that, we do have to use our phones for school. There are a lot of different websites that we can't access on our laptop, especially with COVID, but pre-COVID. So not only is my phone for fun, but I also need it for learning. And like tracking devices, like 360, all of that. I don't know who has that, but I know if I was alone, I would have that.
Yeah.
I would have that on my kids. So I think it's a lot more safer. A lot of people say it's a distraction. I think it's advanced, but I think it's also if you have that privilege, I think you should definitely use it.
Mhm. I
And you
agree.
can even lock your kid's phone down at a certain time in the night. I did not know that.
Girls, just like the TV, parental control.
Yes, and they can't do anything but call 911. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that
Not for me though. Not for me.
don't play. I'm gonna tell your mama. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think honestly, like, phones it's beneficial, especially like if like my sister and I used to walk home from school, middle school and stuff like that, be home until our mom got there and stuff. So it wasn't far, girl. It was like a mile. We'll be fine. But
A mile. Okay.
see, y'all children don't understand, you don't play. My mom always tells me you had to take a bus to this bus and get off of that bus and go this way. I'm like,
My mom tells
okay.
me that too.
Um, so as we're going towards the end, does anybody have any questions you want to put in the chat while we're still talking? Let's see, people have been commenting with the minutes. Before the street
Oh,
lights came on, that's where the fun was. Yes, so many stories I have heard.
I didn't see all of these. Oh wait, not me commenting. Okay.
With my age showing too.
Y'all have any questions?
Hello, everybody who is on the live.
I don't even know how to X out now. Oh, there we go.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. See, and even like Instagram Live, when that became a whole new thing, I just kept getting notification after notification after notification. I was like, okay, what
See,
is
yeah, I
happening?
don't have Instagram notifications at all. I turn that off because everybody decides to go live at 12 a.m. or when I'm at school, and I just think that's so disrespectful. Like, so disrespectful.
But it's
So
a
I
good
don't have any
way.
notifications.
That's
If
smart.
you DM me, if you like my post, if you comment, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not even mad about it. It keeps me way off my phone.
That's good. So do you think like social media is like, could it be a distraction to you sometimes?
Most definitely, of course, with procrastinating. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can be on my phone for 5 more minutes. Like I can be on it for 5 more minutes. I really cannot, and end up being late or not doing what I'm supposed to do. All of that.
So there
So
is a
definitely,
feature. I just
huh?
learned about this. There's a feature on iPhones where it's like once you hit a certain amount of like hours, you can't even open up the app anymore.
Oh, you can do that, but I don't have that on my phone.
Me neither, girl.
Like you can time limit each app and you can tell your phone like when to turn off. I think like that's too much because what if I really need my phone at this time and like I can't turn it on into the morning? Like purge. I don't know. We
Okay.
gotta
Question from On
question.
Every Piece. So, do you find yourself using social media more now during the pandemic than before? It's a great question.
Mm, I think during the pandemic, like at first, I remember getting this call saying, oh, well, getting an email saying that we won't have school for the next week. And I think that whole week, I definitely used social media so much. So I was like, oh, we don't have school this week. I'll be back next week. But then the weeks kept coming and coming and coming and coming, and I wasn't going back to school. So then I got tired of my phone, and I discovered new hobbies. I have roller skates now,
Ooh.
and I have like a paint chart, and I like to paint on canvas. I've been reading books, so I think less right now
Hmm.
than at the beginning of the pandemic. But at the beginning, I was on my phone like crazy.
Right. And I feel like, you get a lot of news, like information from social media. I know people who have like
Yeah.
just Twitters to just like look at like they follow the news like CNN or like CBS or whatever, and they just follow them just to like get the news. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
I
that's good.
that's so cool. Yeah. Even during the beginning of the pandemic, we were the exact same way. We had spring break and they're like, oh, you guys aren't coming back just yet. And
Hey.
and I was like, "Oh, cool, it's my birthday a month." And I was like,
Oh,
it's okay.
lucky me.
So literally my birthday was right before the pandemic. Everything got shut down that weekend.
Um,
I know, it was crazy. So I was like, oh my
what day
God,
was
like
your birthday?
March 12th.
Oh my God, I remember exactly what I was doing that day because it was right before the pandemic.
Literally right before. Like it was the craziest thing ever. But
It was like we were hearing on the news, like, oh, the coronavirus. But no one was saying, like, stay at home, wear a mask. 2 days later, I couldn't go back out of my house.
right. And most of the
But
stuff
my
like I
birthday
found out
is
on social
June.
media. And your birthday's in
Huh?
June?
Yeah. So I didn't get to celebrate, like, as big as I wanted to. But we had,
No.
like, a drive-by parade for my
Oh,
birthday.
that's fun. Yeah. Honestly, I found out a lot of stuff about COVID through social media. Of course, valid sites and sources and stuff, but I found myself like, okay, what is happening? Like getting like updates on like what is happening in the world via social media, honestly.
I agree.
Okay. So, my last question to you. So, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs trying to create a brand on social media? Do you pay for ads? Are you a brand ambassador? Like, start that way? Like, how do you think was the best way?
I would definitely say take social media to your advantage. We have so many things that we can do, YouTube, Google. So there's really no excuse not to know how to do something. Even if you say, oh, I don't know how to work this app, like how I just said, I don't know how to work Facebook, I can easily find out if I wanted to. I just choose not to. I definitely think make your page, if you're making like a business page, make it dedicated to your theme and just your business. Don't have a personal page and 10,000 selfies and like your product here and there. Like that's not really a good strategy.
Hmm.
I know my page is a little bit different. I do have cute pictures of myself, but I also have business pages as well. That don't have pictures of me.
Your
So I
your
definitely
business.
say,
That's it.
yeah. And my brand is also me. So
Exactly.
I would say take advantage of social media. Take advantage of your time right now. I'd say follow people who are interested in the things that you are too, because not only would they be motivation, but if you're stuck somewhere, you can ask them.
Hmm.
I think ads are a good idea, but sometimes you have to apply. Like if you're not already having a following base, you don't really get ads and not aren't always able to be a brand ambassador. But I
Hmm.
think once you are to that level, definitely ads. I know I've done a lot of ads for Clear Self face cream and face wash and all of that.
Hmm.
I think that was my favorite ad that I've ever done. And also, I think brand investing, I think that's good as well, but it's also, how do I say this? It's also shedding light on someone else's business and someone else's dream.
Hmm.
So just make sure you stay focused with your theme. Don't let people get confused by your page. If you are going to have one of those personal pages, Also have a business page.
Hmm.
And of course have your website, everything. Like have everything so clean where people can easily find out about you.
Right, right. How did you how did you get to the point where you're at, using social media as your advantage?
I think my favorite thing, like I don't have to say my websites all the time, even though I like to. But
Hmm.
if you go into my bio, I just say, oh, well, follow Saniya Symone, and all the information is in your bio. So there's a link tree. I don't really know what the purpose of link tree is, but it has a lot of different platforms of mine
Hmm.
in the link. So I think it makes it a little bit easier for
Right.
everybody. And I have business pages in my bio and pretty much just a little summary of what I do.
Hmm. That's super
But
cool.
social media is hard.
It is hard. And you can do so many things with it. Like, you can do so many things. And it's insane. Like, with your business page, you can, like, schedule appointments and do this and do that and make phone calls.
Yes.
And
And you can partner up with people. You can oops, sorry, you can tag products in your post. I don't know, it's so much stuff that you can do, but you can easily Google it. And it's really, really hard to maintain. I'm really bad at posting daily. Like that's not even something that I do. I don't even post weekly. I'm very bad at it.
so, thank you for the advice. You have given me some advice because, man, let me tell you.
Are you gonna start posting at 3?
Yes, I literally wrote it down, 3 p.m. Because I just post when I'm ready. I post when I'm ready to
Yeah.
post. That's it. Um, so we're just gonna talk about a couple other things. So the TSU Shape Yes page, Instagram page will be combining with the TSU Shape. So the next IG Live series will just be at the TSU Shape Instagram. We won't lose you as followers. We promise. We will transition you over. We're just going to have one business page, just like Miss Saniya said. So we are going to be right there. We'll still be here, still be at TSU, still be at Fifth Ward, still be at Third Ward. Our next live is in November. Last one, Series 3. Does any? Let's see. It
Sweet.
is November 24th, so that weekend of Thanksgiving, while your mom is cooking 2 days before, get on IG
I
Live.
wish you did that.
Girl, let me tell you, my family starts cooking that Monday. I'm like, why?
Uh-uh. Well, it's good to prep because I feel like the food tastes way better that way.
Very true. Very
Maybe a
true.
day before, but 2 days before, she's gonna have to jump on that train.
Yeah, so definitely watch us while your mom's in there cooking, preparing for Thanksgiving. We're gonna have a great discussion. If you guys want to hear anything for the next series, just drop it in the chat, DM us, anything you want. We're definitely here to be a resource for everybody on the live. And make sure you follow Miss Saniya Symone. Check out her businesses. And we want to definitely uplift her as a young woman for sure. So you want to put your handles in the
Yeah,
comment
so
section?
make sure you follow this page, the Teen Nation Talk Show. I don't remember it. Sorry about getting everything like this.
You have very clear skin, clear cell, girl. Yes.
I wish, but it's been working. It's not so much like right here, only little bumps, but yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Awesome. And just like
So
you said,
follow the Teen Nation Talk Show, and this is also me.
all right, awesome. And then I'm gonna just put the TSU Shape Instagram in here. Make sure if you don't follow it now, definitely follow it so that we can continue these great conversations and have fantastic chats and network with you all. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining us this evening. It was such a great conversation. Thank you, Saniya, for taking part of your
Thank you.
evening. I learned a lot. We're here. I hope everybody learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot tonight about my old ways, with the minutes and
Yeah.
my space. Alrighty, well, I'll leave you guys to it. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank y'all for watching.
Bye.